Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right, except no one else showed up. Can't be too careful these days. Ain't always much to say. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. The Bastion ain't gonna build itself. Well, not entirely. Kid ponders what to build. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Fetching fizz is like a mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands. Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. Somehow that old forge is still standing. Inside the forge, Kid can fine-tune those instruments of his. Kid's lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting. Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again. place to find the likes of Percy the Snitch. Never much cared for that big wide grin of his. Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock. Know why gas fellas all dress alike? Kids wondering the same thing. And there it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. Blustery old foreman was keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. Kid ain't about to pass out in the middle of the workman ward. Now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Might as well check the other side streets before leaving this hole. Sometimes a single look says it all. Party punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times. The workman ward. Them windbags used to keep the city humming along here. Time to get what he came for and get on out. He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time. digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw. They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed. Squirts don't make the best of friends, but they can be useful in a pinch. No sign of the core here. At least the kid got something for his trouble. Keeps telling himself he better watch his step. Them squirts just don't know when to quit. He heads for the biggest dump in town, Scumbag Alley. Some scumbag still feeding on the city's own trash. And there he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel. But Calamity ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition. Shame old Gershel can't float like when he was a young fella. The rest of the path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back. No core, no surprise. Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him. He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. Inside the forge, Key can fine-tune those instruments of his. Kid's lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting. Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again. Odd place to find the likes of Percy the Snitch. Never much cared for that big wide grin of his. Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock. No white gas fellas all dress alike. Kids wondering the same thing. And there it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. A blustery old foreman is keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd. And now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Kid's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started.
Ништяк. Я подсвинтил, бля.
He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it.
Давай. Вечно мордой вниз не падаешь.
The windbags used to be alright. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him. What else is there to say?
Блять, верните мне молоток. Я хочу, сука, молоток. Макатол. Хотя, с другой стороны, у меня есть улучшение.
Kid ain't finished here yet.
Понял.
Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to.
Скоростное оружие ближнего боя. Ага. Так, молоток, блядь. Так, а тут что, пляшущий выстрел. Цели к цели, блядь. Че, попробуй тут это. Попробуй.
Ain't much kid can't handle with hammer and bow in hand.
Полетел.
Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. The breakers used to come here for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets in the fewest shots. He's focused. He's armed. And he's off. Perfect shot just happens in a flash.
Почему эта хуйня не стреляла? Или в испытаниях такой херни нет? Ладно, пойдем дальше. Значит, найдем.
He returns with some of the materials we need.
Так.
The melting pot. Place hoarded all sorts of fineries from beyond the boundless sea. In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stabweeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart.
Что-то мерзкое.
If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. The core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Ready to pop that mean old woman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad, as the kid finds some spices from the land, tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. It all proves more than the kid can handle. They tied it up at the melting pot when they heard the kid was coming back.
Да.
A bow and a machete, every bit as effective as the fancier stuff. Zealandia held treasures from around the world, but Kid needs just one. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stabweeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. Core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the Kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Birdie pop that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad, as the Kid finds some spices from the motherland. Tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. It's a troublesome scene to be sure. Left, the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. first barge.
Тоже прикольно. Окей. Мне надо построить кузню.
I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here.
Не, вот это прикольно.
The little Zolwood oil on that blade shines like a light.
Как луковёр там.
With a good length of Miska, that bow's like new again.
Давай, раньше пузырей.
Windbag Ranch was built for gathering squirt extract in copious supply. Ain't nothing more healthful. Some folks showed up to make a fast buck with nothing but a knife. Other folks came to train their throwing arms. Still others use the place to test their finest blades. The place gets awful slick sometimes.
Toshiba так давно.
Slippery little devils.
Где еще ты тварь? Сука, опять не видно,
Kid cuts all of them down soon enough.
третий приз.
Kid comes back from Windbag Ranch smelling good and ripe. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Ceylondia. It was good living here for a while. War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them.
Погнали дальше. Питание, короче, можно бесконечно продлевать.
Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way under the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. So could a reckless kid, for that matter. Fragments of the old world rain in the sky. Stray valuables are lying everywhere. Security's all fired up. He gets the wind knocked right out of him. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Sky bridges put the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. Quick and careful's the only way to go.
Ты, блядь, падаешь в меня. Так не надо.
The calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Find time to find them. These wires to toss those things are plenty far away. Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So he didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us.